So Metro Vancouver has moved to a Stage 3 in its water restrictions. The difference between a Stage 2 and a Stage 3 is basically that in the earlier stage we were just restricted in some of our water use, whereas now some things are outright prohibited. So we'll let you in on some of those notable changes. First, watering your lawn is strictly prohibited. In Stage 2, there were certain hours in the early morning when we could water, but now we can't at all. Metro Vancouver isn't even granting exemption permits for those with new lawns and nematode applications, and if you had an exemption permit before, it's now cancelled. However, watering your flower or vegetable gardens is still allowed, but only by hand. Car and boat washing is also no longer allowed, but don't sweat it if you've been putting off a car wash, because commercial washes are still operating. And lastly, you'll have to find another way to cool off in the summer heat, because in Stage 3, the filling or refilling of private pools, ponds, spas, and hot tubs isn't allowed either. And while the city was caught with its sprinklers on at Science World Tuesday morning, it still claims it's made significant efforts to reduce water use and adjust to a Stage 3. For example, the city says cemetery lawns in most park areas haven't been watered, and most ornamental fountains have been turned off. And starting this week, golf fairways and most fields won't be watered either. And while we had some scofflaws still watering outside of the restrictions during Stage 2, you may want to pay particular attention to the restrictions in Stage 3, because the city is upping bylaw enforcement. Officers will now be out 7 days a week, both day and night, and if you aren't in line with the restrictions, you could face a $250 fine.